Welcome to the Weekly Peel. We have a very, very important and special episode. It is Monday, September 20th, the second year anniversary of a day that will live in infamy. Storm Area 51. I am John Maziot.
And I'm Peter.
Oh, I let you do it this time, Peter.
There we go. I was waiting for it.
Yeah, and we have our lovely guest, Mr. Daniel Murphy. How are you, sir?
Good. Thank you guys so much for having me on the Weekly Peel.
Dude, this is nice. This is a good. So Peter has been complaining that I don't. Well, he only just said it one time on last week's episode, but he's been complaining that I don't let him introduce himself. He wants creative freedom or something like that. I don't know.
Come on, John.
I
you
complained
need to let
on
the boy
the
off his
podcast.
leash.
Yeah, not behind closed doors, just on the air.
That's where we hash out our problems with each other about the podcast.
It's true.
It's the only way.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, all of our fights are on this podcast.
Well,
Hey.
Dan, I'm honored to be in the same room with the two of you as a fan of your previous podcast, Maz and Murph, The Manlier Things in Life. I feel like I'm the guest on y'all's show right now.
Wow,
It's
that's
a blessing.
powerful. I feel like I'm in the presence of a celebrity with Mr. Murph here, as a retired podcaster.
I feel like...
I feel like
Thanks for having me.
I feel like
See,
it's
this
nice
man
to
knows
be
what he's
had.
doing. That's
Wow.
what you say when you're a guest on a podcast. Write that down.
Yeah, write that down. Write that down.
Thanks for having
Write this
me.
down.
Thank you for having me. All right, so gentlemen, it has been 2 years since Storm Area 51. It started as a Facebook group. It got 2 million RSVPs and like I think almost like another million of like interested. Do you guys remember? Do you remember how? I know Murph, we did an episode on Maz and Murph about this at the
Right.
time.
It was just such a funny idea. And just like the memes were just out of control. Everything was about storming Area 51. And honestly, like, I feel like when we all have, well, John, you have a child. When we all have school-age children, we're going to be looking through their history books, and it's going to be talking about this viral sensation. It's going to be fantastic, and honestly, I am honored to have been alive to witness it.
Yeah, yeah.
That's right. I feel like memes almost peaked then. I don't feel like they've gotten as good as they were then. It just felt like a good time to be alive was when all that was happening.
That's fair.
I don't
Yeah.
remember something that just blew up that big, like on the internet. Like I really don't remember anything of any. Like I don't remember a time where everyone was participating in like sharing these memes, like showing each other these memes. Like just everyone was like on it. It was so good. I mean, people you wouldn't like friends that I wouldn't even expect. Like look, we're sending me these memes and I like just all on board with it.
United America
It's honestly
against
Brought
our
us
government.
together.
against our government. But I think what ended up happening, because the whole thing was, listen, we need to know what's going on in Area 51. They were like, this is
Yeah.
about dang time. And they were like, we're just going to storm it. They can't stop all of us. And I was reading this article. I don't know if it'll pull up, but it was from like I guess like 2 or 3 months before Storm Area 51, when this was still like the ball, like it was just like growing in size, and like everything, the memes were aplenty and things were just gearing up. And I forget, but it was on it won't load because for whatever reason my internet is garbage. It was on insider.com. So that's like a pretty legit website.
Mainstream.
Yeah, mainstream. And they were they were saying stuff like, you know, it's called Storm Area 51 and the whole premise is like, let's go get them aliens. And it was like all these weird like they were using these terms that like I don't know, like, and it was just so weird to see all these mainstream people or like outlets talking about this.
Yes. Just the thought of like, I mean, like you said, like 2 million people RSVP'd for this trip. Just like the thought of like 2 million Americans like rushing at once. But then the joke that started happening was like, I forget, it was like a meme or something, but like a time traveler comes back and talks to you and It's like, oh,
Oh.
you mean the Area 51 massacre?
Oh my
Because
god.
there was like, oh, they can't take all of us, and then we were like, it's the U.S. government and military. Like, yes, they can.
Yeah, I remember, Dan, you brought it up that you showed me some, like, I think it was the Air Force, like, made an official statement.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
and they were like, we're just like, all it said was like, the the United States Air Force is like ready and able to handle any threat against America or something like
Okay, this is
like
coming back
Yeah.
to me. That was wild.
like
Yeah.
it was really crazy.
Yeah, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. There was still obviously that whole people who signed up and said they were going didn't, but there was a good portion of people who headed out there to like have a tailgate in the desert. You know, there was still a good party there.
Yeah.
But you're right. Like, the United States military was very ready to take out their own.
I would have loved to see it. I mean, I would hate to see it,
Wow.
but it would have been crazy to see them show up. Not people die. That sounded really bad. But I would have loved to see like people trying to get over like what they would have done. It probably would have been like tear gas or something. But I think what happened
True.
was, I think it was like almost 1,000 people ended up showing up like outside the gates, and it turned into like a huge dance party. And it was like, I was reading and there was like, because I was trying to refresh my memory, and they were saying that, yeah, like there were people in like Naruto costumes, alien costumes, and they just like it was just,
Bro, that's so
I don't
funny.
know. I think they tried really hard to capture the same energy with the Josh fight. Did you guys
I
hear about
remember
this
that,
last year?
yeah.
Last summer, I think it was. It was like all the Joshes were gonna meet at this one specific location, and they were gonna battle it out to see who the best Josh was, and like hundreds of guys named Josh showed up, and like they had like a battle, but like there was like a little kid there, and they let him win, like, and he
Oh,
was like
that's
the
cool.
ultimate Josh, and
It was
it
staged.
it wasn't as epic, you know. It didn't really reach the 2 million goal that the previous
That's
Area
pretty funny.
51. Listen, Area 51. I this is really interesting. I didn't know this. Area 51 was like, obviously people have been like, whenever you hear that, the first thing you think of is what?
Aliens.
Yeah, aliens, right? Like that's just like what everyone is like everyone thinks of. And I guess that started in the 80s. Somebody claimed that they worked there. And Dan, I forgot to say, you have a Diet Dr. Pepper here. How is that?
Since the last time you had me rate this beverage, it's gone up. It's maxed out at 11 out of 10.
11 out of 10.
Oh.
Wow.
It's gotten
We're
better.
back up, baby.
It's gotten sweeter. It's gotten colder.
Wow. Diet Dr. Pepper. Go get yourself one. I had to just throw that in. But anyway, so apparently in the 80s, this guy came forward and was like, yeah, I work there, and we deal with aliens and all this stuff. And it was like a anonymous interview that he gave. And that's what
Wow.
started all the theories. But then you find out, like, allegedly, that the guy, like, they found out who it was, and he was lying. And, like, he said that he, like, went to all these different, like, he went to 2 different, like very prestigious colleges, and they found out, like, he didn't. So but, like, there's documentaries about him and stuff, so I don't really know. But that's what started all these theories. And until 2013, the government refused to allow, or like they wouldn't give like authorization to like officials or whoever, excuse me, to like, oh man, I'm like dying for a second.
You're not even
Sorry.
having
Sorry.
Dr. Pepper in his
I know, it's a seltzer.
there.
Ugh.
Seltzer, no, that's even worse.
I know. Anyway, but they basically said, like, they made, and this is like in files that was like released in 2013, that they weren't allowed to acknowledge that Area 51 even existed.
Whoa.
So
Wow.
like, so up to that point, they didn't acknowledge that it even existed,
That's crazy.
which is weird because I never knew that. But in 2013, then they were like, all right, yeah, it's there, it exists.
And
But
that bites them in the butt because that's the stuff that gets people going on all these
I know.
theories.
I know. And I mean, and I was seeing, like, I was looking up some different things about, so like, it's not just aliens. People think obviously that's the main thing. Other people think there's like a weather machine that they can control the weather, and it's in there. And there was like a few other ones, but that was the most interesting. But obviously we have some speculation. Gentlemen, do you have any ideas of what you think is in Area 51?
Yeah. So I mean, it's not even a theory. What I'm, what I feel like what I have to share is, oh man, it's more of a spoiler. Like it's just gonna be some truth. It's gonna be some truth. A lot of times, right, we associate Area 51 with aliens. We associate Area 51 to be like an area where we collect things from the space outside the Earth.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm here to say is that Area 51 has not to do with outer space, but inner space. It has to do what's inside the Earth.
The inner space.
Whoa, dude.
This whole
It's
time.
inside the Earth, right? And Area 51 is actually the gateway. And that's why they don't
Whoa.
want people to go there. They don't want people getting inside the Earth. And we were taught about, the Earth's crusts and the plates and the lava. I'm not sold on that. I believe there's something better, to be quite honestly, and a lot of people online do as well. You know Mike Lindell?
Yes, sir.
So the stuff that he
MyPillow.
puts inside of his MyPillow is actually farmed inside the Earth.
Wow.
Wait, hold on. Wait.
Go
Is
ahead.
what?
Farm?
So that's where he gets it. He farms
gets it from the Earth?
inside the Earth.
Where?
Inside the Earth, bro.
Like he digs a hole.
He doesn't dig a hole. He gets it access through Area 51.
This is what you think?
No, it's a spoiler, John.
Oh, this is
Stay tuned.
wow. I love that. That's very interesting. Never thought of it like that.
I'm gonna dig deeper into that. Pun intended.
Oh, it's pun intended. Wow. Peter, what do you think? Area 51.
I feel like Area 51 has probably, like Dan's saying, nothing to do with aliens. I feel like it actually has to do with nothing interesting, if I'm being honest. I think that actually it was founded as a long-term distraction, basically, for the government. So they're distracting us with all the alien stuff from the actual activity that's going on somewhere else. Maybe it's nearby. I don't know. They decided to make something much more interesting, much more mysterious. Tell me why are they releasing all of this like unidentified flying object footage lately? All like the Air Force, all that stuff. So why are they releasing it? Like what is the point? They're like stirring up speculation, and it refixates you on Area 51. So what are they actually hiding?
Wow.
We don't know.
That's
but
really
it's not in
good.
Area 51 at all.
Maybe we should just storm the CIA, get to the bottom of it.
They can't stop all of us.
This sounds a little familiar. Wow, that's interesting. I was really thinking heavily and deeply on this. And I was thinking, could Kanye West have been built there? No. Could Disney's Frozen Head be there? Walt Disney's Frozen Head? Maybe. Is that really where Alex Jones's InfoWars studio is? You never know. I think it's one of two options. It is the Bird Control Center, because birds aren't real. Because birds... Listen.
Hot dang.
Because it's Air Force, first of all. It's an Air Force base. So this is the big control. It wouldn't even show up on satellite for years. Literally, it would be like a dead zone right there, because they're controlling the birds from Area 51. That, and I found this online somewhere, some random comment where somebody was like, it is literally an empty like base. Nothing is there. The real secrets. They were like JFK's body. I don't know why they said that, but they were like, all that kind of stuff is in a random like storage unit in New Jersey. That was just, which is kind of random. Like, I mean, I guess, I've been to New Jersey. My wife's from New Jersey. I wouldn't doubt it. But like, I think the main thing is, it's nothing. Like, just like it's not that even like a distraction. Like you're saying like, oh, there's boring stuff. Like, dude, it's empty. There's like two guys sitting there like watching the cameras. And it's just a tin box. empty, or it's a bird control center.
Wow.
That's
really
that's
getting
what
me
I'm.
thinking.
Yeah, I know. Listen. The birds theory will make you question everything, including Area 51.
This is beyond me. This is bigger than all of us.
This is insane. But in the spirit of storming Area 51 and finding aliens, what we're going to do today is we're going to bring a segment that is new to this podcast, but it was from Maz and Murph, the Manlier Things in Life, called Superbrawl. Superbrawl is basically what we're doing today is the theme is sci-fi villains. So any villain from a side, this is what we think. Like, this is taking place. It's like a battle royale. It's gonna be my team versus Dan's team versus Peter's team, and we're gonna draft 3 sci-fi villains that we want to fight in the Area 51 arena for us.
In the warehouse.
Because
they're all in there.
They're all in there already. We're just picking the ones that are on our team. So, gentlemen, how we should have discussed this before we were on a podcast, but how are we gonna do this? How are we gonna who would like to go first? Should we have go ahead?
What if we all put up our number 3 picks and then like each just take a turn defending it against once everybody's said theirs?
Okay, all right, I like that. So we'll have Dan since he's a guest, and then I really don't want to be last, but Peter, I will give you that great honor of being second because there's some clear first tier picks here. I'm not gonna lie. I really think, and honestly, I'm out to win today because I have not won a poll. As it stands, as we're recording this, I have not won a single poll that we have put up, and I'm ready to win.
Wow.
This is my wheelhouse.
Is that what that means?
I don't know. So Mr.
Right,
Murphy, would you like to give us your third pick?
Yes.
Well, I guess you're first, but you're third. You know what I mean.
I'm going to go with Evil Emperor Zurg from the Toy Story franchise.
Ooh.
Oh.
Yeah. Yep. Buzz Lightyear's arch nemesis.
That is not even on my list. What drew you to that?
What drew me to Evil Emperor Zurg, I think, is the mysteriousness of him. I know that in 2022, Disney Pixar is going to be releasing Lightyear, which
that is true.
It's not a toy movie. It's the story behind the toy.
It's the animated story about an animated toy.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I feel like because they call him evil, he's pretty messed up. Again,
his name.
We've only seen the toy version of Zurg.
It's true.
I can only imagine that rocket thing on his hand, that thing can do some damage.
Pop, pop.
The only thing that I'm concerned about is his little wheels, because he doesn't walk; he just scoots around.
Or is that the toy? Or does he have... I'm assuming he has... I mean, either way, he has something covering his legs, so he can't walk that fast.
That's true. But that Zurg is my third draft pick, and I'm curious to see how he stands up against your boys'
Okay.
used boys'.
Solid pick.
These boys
Emperor
is-
Zurg.
all right.
So
Mr. Stauffer.
my third pick is the sci-fi villain Magneto. Controls all metal.
Wait, is he sci-fi?
I think it counts.
I'll let it slide.
Oh, thank you.
I was thinking, because I was like, is that... Cause they had some ones, and I was like, okay, Magneto,
Sci-fi.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
This definitely throws off my pick. But Peter, talk about that.
All right,
Let's hear
so
it.
Magneto, master of all metals. You've seen the movies. You know what he's capable of. He's gonna
Sir Ian McKellen.
send Emperor Zurg and whoever else we've got on the ballot this time to inner space.
So is Zurg metal? I think he is.
I
Might
kind
be
of
plastic, and then I'm screwed.
That's funny. I feel like he might be metal. I feel like he's got some Darth Vader qualities to him. I think there's like a human being under there somewhere. But
Okay. You know, talking about sci-fi villains, the only choice is Danny DeVito. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm gonna go similar to your pick, Mr. Murphy, but I'm gonna go the Emperor, but from Star Wars.
I was wondering if that would happen.
dag.
Listen, Emperor Palpatine, first of all, has he kind of lost on a technicality or like a cheap shot. Like he was distracted, and it didn't really go so well for him. But that's only because he was distracted. He didn't see it coming. And we don't really talk about the sequel trilogy when he loses again because that's just crap. But we're just not going to talk about that. But he's a powerful dude. I mean, he overthrew the whole stinking galaxy, the whole Republic, everything. And talk about going up against Magneto. He doesn't need metal, but he does have electricity. You know? I mean, granted, he might lose his lightsaber, but he's got electricity from his hands.
My pick is in the dumpster already.
I would say Zurg might be able to, you know, distract. I think he'd go after Magneto first. Well, yeah, just because he would be like metal. He's probably maybe if Zurg is metal, he's moving him around. You know, Magneto's playing with him a little bit, and the Emperor's just like, you know what? Let's just cut it. Let's just get him first.
Okay.
Now, but he doesn't do well against two people at once, so that's the only thing that I'm nervous. I'm
very curious.
Dan has a clear defense here.
I know he's thinking.
I'm wondering if you're gonna catch on to it.
I'm just wondering what's the drive behind these guys.
What are they fighting for?
Again, like Zurg,
fighting for freedom.
Zurg seems like a very vengeful person, you know. Against Buzz, you know, he's a ruthless killer, but against two strangers, you know, is he gonna have enough oomph to go after them and destroy? I don't know.
Well, two emperors. That's.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
But what about the Darth Vader-like qualities in Emperor Zurg? Darth Vader, after all, was the one who defeated the Emperor. He was the chosen one to defeat the Emperor.
Oh my goodness. Thank you for assisting me there.
I might be switching teams here.
All right, let's go to our second. I feel confident. I mean, the people ultimately will decide in the polls, but I feel confident with this.
All right.
Dan, what do you got?
All right, my second draft pick. I'm gonna go with the Bizarro Superman. He's not, you know, obviously Superman is from space, and I wish I was more knowledgeable about his backstory. And, you know, my understanding of Bizarro Superman is that he's everything Superman is, but the opposite, you know? So where Superman is this good-hearted Samaritan, Bizarro Superman is just this ruthless, villainous, undefeatable monstrosity from space. I really can't imagine a competitor who can take him down. I can't.
Dang.
You know, I'm not going to add this to my list out of just pure integrity, but Superman would have been a really good pick to have right now. That's really, but it's villain, so I guess I could.
That's true. That's true.
Wow.
Yeah, didn't think about that one, did you?
Peter, who's going against Bizarro? Who do you got?
So I have from the Lord of the Rings. You're never gonna see it coming. Who arises out of the darkness, out of the smoke, terrorizing everybody? The Balrog. He takes down a wizard. He takes down a bridge.
Dude, that thing is really scary though.
It's true. He's got like a whip of some kind, and it's, I don't know. It's already not looking good for y'all's picks.
I'm tilting. I'm trying to
That's
see.
all I got.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's not really a lot of backstory with him. You know what though? The thing is like, you know, I'm sure Bizarro, he has a good backstory. I don't know it. I'm sure he does. Comic book characters do, but this guy, he's just evil. He's just evil just
true.
because. You're what is his? I've never known his name. The fiery beast. What is it?
Oh, from Lord of the Rings, mine.
Yes,
The Balrog.
the Balrog.
Balrog.
All right.
Yep.
I'm thinking the only one on my list that has the power. Okay, I'm gonna do it for pop culture. I have two that are very similar, but I'm gonna go because I'm winning this thing. I'm taking the king himself, the Mad Titan, Thanos.
Wow.
Dude,
Okay.
I don't know.
With
Listen,
or without the gauntlet.
Listen, I'll leave that up to you guys. If you think it's unfair, like, to have, because I think when we did, I think at one point he was drafted in one of our Super Brawls or something, Dan, and I think we didn't give him a full gauntlet. I think we allowed a couple stones, but I'll leave that up to you guys. But either way, without it, he beat up Hulk, no problem. So
Fair.
And think about him in Endgame. He didn't even like have anything.
Yeah, he didn't have it.
He was crushing. So if you guys, what do you think? Gauntlet, no gauntlet, half gauntlet, what? What are we thinking?
You
Say
know,
no gauntlet. He's wild enough.
I don't know though. I do enjoy the Marvel movies, but I know I'm not their biggest fan. You know, so I've never
Get out of this podcast.
You're done.
This is why
Pettis.
Mazimurf ended.
I've never understood Thanos. Like when I watch Endgame, I watch this just big purple man, right? You have like you have all these superheroes who have destroyed like army invasions on New York City. I just don't get it. I don't get it. I don't understand. Why is he able to do what he's like? Where's Captain Marvel? Why can't she just shred him to pieces?
Because Captain Marvel stinks.
No,
Captain
I'm just
Marvel's
saying,
the worst
man.
character.
Like, you know that scene in what's it called? The one before Endgame, Infinity War.
Yeah.
When they're like on that planet and Doctor Strange is kind of thinking over to the side, and Iron Man and Spider-Man, and like they've got this guy, like, if it were their own movie, they would be destroying him all on their own. But all of a sudden against Thanos, they're these like weak little kids. I don't get it.
Well, it's because
I don't get it.
He's part, I think they call it like deviant. So he's essentially like, he's almost as powerful as like the Eternals and stuff. Like he's in this universe, like he's not just some alien or just some purple guy. Like he's built differently. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's literally.
He's built different.
This dude is like, he's essentially, he's like almost part God in this universe. Like, that's why he's so strong.
That explains it better to me. So I would say no gauntlet because I feel like he's already got enough going for him.
Fair enough. Murph, what was your choice again?
The Bizarro Superman.
Bizarro.
So
Superman.
this is interesting. I don't know who wins this. Like this second round. Like I hope it's Thanos, but I don't know, because Bizarro is basically Superman. The Gull what's his name?
The Balrog.
The Balrog.
Making me seem like a nerd. It's a very well-known character.
I haven't watched them in a long time. I'm sorry. The Balrog is just massive, and he's fiery, and he almost defeated a wizard.
Here's what I think happens. I think so. Bizarro Superman. He is just kind of like, he's got like half a brain. He's like insane, right? Not like he's dumb, but he's just wild. He sees Thanos first, and he just goes right for him. And I think in any of these situations, you kind of have like two duking it out at once, and the other one's gonna come in. I feel like that's what happens, and then the Balrog steps in, doesn't even see him coming. I don't know. I feel like it's hard to kill Superman though.
What this Balrog character, like, is this person intelligent? Like, is he smart?
He's got a little bit. He's got a
Wait,
little
have you
bit.
seen
Like,
Lord of the
He
Rings?
knows what he's doing, but he's just like pure evil. Pure,
Okay.
Like fire
Okay.
goes after you.
Have you ever seen the "You Shall Not Pass" scene, Dan? Because you've never seen the movies.
I know the reference.
Okay. That's where it's
yeah.
from.
Okay. Here's
He's
what I think. I think,
Okay.
like you said, Peter, Bizarro has half a brain. He's Superman, but he's not composed. He has the power, but it's not tamed. He is wild, and it sounds like this Lord of the Rings character is driven not by any type of normal emotional capacity. So I feel like those two cancel each other out, and somehow Thanos steps back as the intellect
That's what I was thinking.
and kind of
Dang.
allows them to
Yes.
to cancel each other out.
Okay.
So I'd say Thanos.
My thing was, I don't think I drafted him because he's strong, but I don't think that like now that when I was getting ready to say this too, I think he's taking a step back and he's thinking it through and he's using his intellect, because Bizarro, I mean, powerful, dude. Your guy Peter, very scary, very powerful, but he's got a brain. You know, I see him as being very like I think he's got some more to him, and I don't know. I honestly, I think Bizarro is. I think that Peter, your guy and my guy are going after Bizarro because he's the wild card.
Yeah.
And then after that, dude, it's rough. I don't know exactly what's happening. This one's really close.
I thought I was kind of supposed to fight for my own pick. The Balrog would definitely not win. I totally agree with you guys on this. Out of the running.
Gentlemen, so let's see. Dan, who's your team? You got, what is it, Emperor Zurg, Bizarro? Peter, you have
Magneto and the Balrog.
Magneto and the Balrog. I have Emperor Palpatine and Thanos. Dan, who is your, I guess, number one? Who's your ringer?
I'm tough. I've got a few names here on my list. I was gonna go with Jared Kushner, but I decided that I'm gonna.
That's kind of great.
I'm actually gonna go with Kirby.
Is he a villain though?
Wow.
So here's my argument. Is he
Okay.
a villain? One of his features on Super Smash Bros. Is that he consumes his opponent with his mouth, and he becomes that character, or at least a Kirby version of that character.
Okay. Okay.
So I mean, that's really what I'm running with here.
That's a good pick. That's like we never would have
Yeah.
thought of that, John.
I wouldn't have. No, it's not even on my list.
First draft
dude.
pick, bro.
Dude,
Never would have thought.
Kirby.
Peter, what do you have?
Daggone. All right. So when you think about fantasy sci-fi villains, you know, we have Magneto, we have
The Balrog.
we have Thanos, you know, the Balrog. We have Emperor Zurg. But there's one name that we're all skirting around this entire time. And that's the one that I'm going to bring to the table. And that is the infamous crime lord, Jabba the Hutt.
Oh
Dude.
my goodness.
Dude,
You all have no idea what this man is capable of.
I didn't know he was a man. Dude, I thought about it.
Jabba the
This
Hutt,
is
man.
the guy. This is the guy in a fight where, let's say it's like Super Smash Bros. So it's not like he's going to do much of the fighting. He's got like a bunch of little minions that are going to come in. The best, finest trained guys in the galaxy are going to come in and all fight against whoever's there.
I just love that this was after Kirby, because I would love to see Kirby eat all these minions, but then at some point, like, what's gonna happen? Is gonna be a huge like evil Kirby versus Jabba the Hutt. That's
Oh, I think in that scenario you'd have Kirby consume Jabba the Hutt.
Exactly.
But then all the minions would be torn. are we now following this Kirby Jabba the Hutt, or are we to stay faithful to our true leader? You know, they're going to go through a little bit of a crisis. Where does my loyalty lie? I think
your Kirby Jabba the Hutt has no money, and they're doing it for the money.
So
Dude,
they might
Kirby's
protect
going
him.
down.
Yeah,
It's
they
true.
might even get to Jabba the Hutt. And listen, as this is the last pick, I have freedom to run through my list. And on my list, I had Darth Vader. I don't think I'm gonna go with Darth Vader, but I have Venom. I have the Blob. I have Anti-Pops from regular show. Which listen,
oh my goodness.
and listen, I'm really thinking about choosing him because he has. I looked up his powers. He has like nigh omnipotence. He has reality warping. He has vast cosmic powers, high level fighting skills, telekinesis, energy attacks, existence, something. I don't know what that word is.
These are all so vague.
Super strength, super speed, breathing in space, apparently, and flight.
What did it say? Nigh
omnipotence.
What does that mean?
Oh, all right. And then I have a few other ones I don't really care for. Dark Side, I almost picked him, but I think if you can choose Kirby, Dan, I think I can choose this person. Though they kind of are like the hero of their show, I guess, they're not good. They're a bad guy. And I think they're like an anti-hero type of thing, but I think he works. I'm going to go Rick Sanchez from Rick and Morty. Because he deals with sci-fi characters all the time. He's bad. Like, he's not a good guy. He destroys so many, like, people and things, and, you know, so I'm going with Rick Sanchez as my last pick because he can fight. He's got the brains. He can use his little warp gun, his portal gun or whatever it is. I thought about evil Morty, but I think I'm gonna go with Rick. I think I gotta go with Rick.
Wow, tough fight. Okay, so Jabba the Hutt, Rick Sanchez. And
Kirby.
Why do I forget Dan's pick every time? Kirby. And Kirby. Okay.
I feel like
this.
I don't know. I feel like this could be an episode of Rick and Morty. Like,
because of Rick being there.
Or it could be an episode of Kirby or a Star Wars thing.
Yo,
no, like I feel like I'm trying to imagine a scenario that's so difficult and weighs in favor of Kirby winning this, but it's like we've seen Rick come out on top so many times, even when the odds were stacked against him.
I don't know, gentlemen. I see it as if Kirby can eventually get to Jabba the Hutt. But that's if not his people kill Kirby first, and then they could potentially overpower Rick if there's enough of them. I think it could happen, but my thing is if Kirby eats Jabba the Hutt, right? Mm-hmm. So you have Jabba's army. You have Jabba the Hutt, Kirby. Dude, I don't know if Rick stands a chance. I love this pick, and I want him to win, but I don't know if he can do it. There's too many things going. I think he's I'm happy that I picked him, but I think he's a little bit out of his. He's a little bit. It's a little bit out of his league for him.
Let me ask.
Kirby might pull a victory here. Maybe Jabba though, with his army. I don't know.
If we didn't give Thanos his gauntlet, right? Are we allowing Rick to have all of this technology and tools at his disposal? Or is he old man, grandpa?
Oh no!
What I mean, I'm saying.
No.
And then I asked this, like, if that's the case, are we allowing Jabba the Hutt to just have this army, this army of hoodlums on his side? Because when it comes down to
have
it,
a mouth.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. The only one with any type of powers is Kirby.
Wow. I don't.
If it
Whoa.
weren't for their outside resources, Jabba the Hutt would just be an obese alien life form, and Rick Sanchez would just be a deadbeat old man. All right, and Kirby would take him out.
That is true.
Wow, that's a good argument. In all honesty, though, if we do have our stuff, our weapons and our what have yous, I think there's no way Rick Sanchez doesn't come out on top.
I would agree with you in that scenario. Yes,
But
Yeah.
I would say they probably don't have their stuff, which means he'd have to think on his feet, and there's a good chance that there's nothing there because there's nothing in Area 51. That's what I believe. So
just a whole
He's-
bunch of My Pillow filler, and what's he gonna do with that?
Gentlemen, it's been 2 years since that glorious day, and this was amazing to assemble teams and fight the way it should have been.
Right.
Guys, I thank you for stopping by. Dan, Peter, you're always here. You're a fixture.
The
Thank
pleasure,
you for your time,
the pleasure
listeners.
is all yours.
Oh, thank you. It is. Listen, if you enjoyed this episode, follow us. You know what? Give us a little subscribe. You know what I'm saying, on YouTube, on podcast app, whatever you're using right now. Leave us a little comment. Give us a little like. Yeah, give us some 5 stars. You know what I'm saying? We'll see you next week.
We could really use it. I blew your last line. Alrighty. Thanks for making it happen. Bye, y'all.